a community.
Welcome to the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey, and in today's tutorial we're going to make a tulip together. And the tulip has a wire that's on the inside. This leaf that I'm going to suggest for you is going to be much longer. So interpretation, Daniel is like the master gardener of the two of us, said that the leaf is too short. So I'm going to make my leaf a little bit bigger on the final sample. And you can see that with your Caron party yarn, you get a little bit of sparkle with this yarn. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but these are really quick and easy to make. And I used a vase that's actually in my bedroom normally. This is 7.5 inches tall and just really kind of cute. I kind of like it without the leaf, but Daniel wants the leaf and other people said to put the leaf in. So we're going to have this. This is permanently going to be attached. So today you are going to need some sculpting wire. It is 0.2 centimeters or 0.11 inches thick, and it really is pliable. You can do a lot of stuff with it, so you can do that. You'll need some hot glue in order to tack some stuff in. You're going to need a tapestry needle to feed your yarn through. And what else are you going to need? You're going to need a 3mm size D crochet hook, nice and tight. So this hook is way too small for this yarn, but it makes it a nice tight stitch. And overall, it's a really easy thing to do. These are 15 inches tall as written, and these are 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches, almost a square shape. And it's really all about how you sew it in the end that makes this really kind of fabulous. So without further ado, we're going to do this as a continuous round. We're going to get ourselves started, and you can use any yarn that you want to. Just a medium ply 4-weight yarn and any other colors that you would like. Now when I did wrap it, you're going to notice that it's kind of looking pretty wonky. I wanted that effect, but if you want something more uniform, we can discuss that as we get there. Let's get ourselves started and let's make a tulip together. So here's my yarn of choice, Caron Simply Soft Party. It's got a sparkle to it. This sparkle yarn has been updated over years, and so the metallic that is used to sparkle does not scratch your hands like the old metallic used to. So we're going to be using, and I'm going to make a white tulip this time around, and we need a spare piece of yarn because we're going to do a continuous round so that we don't have a slip stitch that's going to be in your tulip. And we'll be needing some polyfill near the end of today's tutorial. So let's begin to work on this next. Let's get ourselves started. We're going to start with a magic ring or an adjustable circle, no matter how you call it. You're going to use 2 fingers, and you're going to come up over top of your 2 fingers like this. So the yarn is going towards the yarn ball. You're going to circle around, and we do have slower tutorials available on our channel for basics like this. And when you go over top, you're going to have a cross formation. Okay, I'll demonstrate that again. So just in the front of your 2 fingers, around the back, and just turn your hand over and cross over and use your 3rd finger to hold. You're going to take your 3mm size D crochet hook, and you're going to come up underneath this one right here. Grab the other yarn and pull through. And as you're pulling it, just turn your hand over to release it. So just turn over and to release it, and then just gripping onto it like this. And I need you to chain 1, and that will lock that. So when you go to crochet your first round, you're going to crochet up over top of the 2 strands. If you do not, it will not close. So you got to make sure you're always crossing over the 2 of those. So going right up over, and we're going to start round number 1 next. To start, you are just going to put 6 single crochet into the ring going up over top of the 2 strands of yarn. So we're just going to count those out together. So we're going to go 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we should have a total of 6 there. And what we're going to do then is to be able to secure this next. To secure, before you go, just pull up a little bit of a loop, and I want you to put that strand of yarn right underneath here. This is going to indicate when you're finished a round. So just go right in. So, see that? And then just grab this yarn and pull through. This is called a stitch marker if you're new to crochet. So this will help you keep count. Okay, and you're just going to pull that through and let it rest inside that stitch. You're now going to take this strand, loose end, and you're going to pull on it. And this is going to turn this into a ring. So just going to pull this loop up a little bit higher so it doesn't fall out. And I want to turn this to the back of it. And I want to grab this strand here and put a tapestry needle onto it. If you do not put this tapestry needle through it, it's going to fall out, guaranteed, 100%. So it's coming around. I'm not looking at the back, so it's coming around like this. So I want to follow it the same direction. If I go back the other way, it's going to undo itself. Okay, so I'm just dragging it under some plies. Okay, pull it. Your wire is going to go through the center of this thing. So if you're going to pull on it, don't pull it so tight that you can't see through it. You got to have a little bit of a hole. You're going to go back in the opposite direction. And one more time in this direction. This, if it tries to weasel its way out, will tighten onto itself, so it will not come out on you. And this will be the inside of your flower anyway. And trim it, and then put this back over. And put your hook back in. And tighten your hook back onto your work. And then we're officially going to move on to round number 2 next. Round number 2, we're just going to start immediately over here. If you're not sure which one to start with, it's the 6th one back from the stitch marker. So do you see the stitch marker? That's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And in the 6th one back, you were going to place in 2 single crochet. So we did not chain 1, we're just immediately doing it to cause this to spiral. And there's 2 into that one. So the way I do it, if you weren't watching me, I would say 1 and 1, and then you move to the next one. And this is stitch number 2. So this is 2 and 2. Move to your next one. This is 3 and 3. The next one is 4 and 4. The next one is 5 and 5. And the last one, see where the stitch marker is? This is 6 and 6. And this is how I counted in my head, if that helps you to know. Once you're on the last one here, the 6th and the 6th, the second one, you're going to move the stitch marker up. So go up underneath the stitch work, grab that stitch marker from the back here and pull it through. You're going to want to just let it just rest throughout your project so that you always see where the stops are on each round, just in case you have to frog backward to rip it. And we're going to start then round number 3 next. Okay, round number 3. There's a simple repeat to take you back to the stitch marker when you get back around. The next stitch that's available to you is just going to be 1 single crochet. And then the one after that is going to be 2 single crochet, and that's going to be your repeat concept around. Okay, so the next one is going to be 1 single crochet by itself, and then the next one has 2 into the same one. So 1 and 2 share the same. And so we're going to do this for a few rounds of increase like this. So the next one is 1, and the next one is 2 into the same one. So going forward, I'm just going to give you the instruction of what it is, and then you're just going to do the round. So you're going to say 1, and then this one has 2 into the same one. If your stitch counts are right, the last one will have 2 single crochets into it. So you got 1 by itself, 2 into the next. Okay, 1 by itself, and this is the last one, and there's 2 into this one. So I know my stitch multiple is right. On this last one, move your stitch marker up so that you can see it, and we're moving on to round number 4. So I'm going to get more simple in my instruction moving forward. Round number 4, here's the repeat that'll take you around. The first 2 will be by itself, so you have 1 and 2 by itself, and then 2 share the next one. So 1 and 2 share. Okay, so the repeat to take you around is 1 and 2 are by itself, and the next one is 2 that will share. Okay, please do the concept around for round number 4. Round number 5. Here's your repeat. the first 3 are by itself. So 1, 2, and 3 are by itself, and then 2 share into the next one. Okay, so we got 1, 2, and 3 by itself. So we have 1, 2, and 3 by itself, and 2 into the next. Please complete this all the way around for round number 5. Okay, round number 6. Here's the repeat pattern going around. So the first 4 are by itself. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2 into the same one. Okay, so the repeat around is the first 4 are by itself. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 into the next. Please do this around for round number 6. Okay, number 7, all the way to now the finish of this flower is just going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'll do the first round, and I'll be back in a few moments, and then I'll show you how it's measured of the 3 inches to get you to the size of this tulip. So it's just 1 single crochet in each, and it's going to take about 2 or 3 rounds before you're going to start seeing it buckle in to form the flower shape. I'll be right back in a moment. When you're coming around now from this point, you don't need to move up that stitch marker. All you're just doing now is that you need to get this from the center ring, and it's going to turn into a bell shape, just like you see here. So what you're going to do is measure it going over the bell. Okay, so you're not going to just measure it like a hat and lay the hat flat. You're just going to measure around. So currently you now have 1 inch, and you need a total of 3 inches. If you want it larger, then please, by all means, do it. So when I come back, I'm going to have 3 inches done, and I will see you back here in a few seconds from now. So I've now just finished 3 inches, and when I measured like this. So I didn't go like this. I just went like that. Okay, so 3 inches is pretty good. If you want it longer, you can do so. So what I want to do at this point is that I want to leave an extra long tail for me so that I can use it to sew this shut. But before I move on, I want to start the leaf next. Okay, so what I'm just going to do is just pull up a loop and just hold that to the side, and we'll do the leaf and we'll get that started, and we'll need our wire for that. So it's going to look like this, and you can remove your stitch marker out that you had holding and save it for another one if you want to do that. And it looks like a half of a pill, doesn't it? So let's begin to do the leaf section next. So this was the bulk that I got of the sculpting wire. It's very flexible. It doesn't need a lot of muscle power in order to change it, but it's strong enough that you can do your flower and have it set beautifully. So for the leaf, you want a total of 9 inches from end to end, and you're going to want to use some pliers to cut that. But what I want to do is I want to prepare this now to get ready for the yarn. It'll be spring green using the same size hook, and there's really no special measurement to the stitch work itself, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it, and then you can go your own way if you want to. So let's begin to prepare this so that we can go. So just cut 9 inches, and then we'll go from there. First thing that we're going to do is take about 1 inch plier and just bend it. And you're going to bend it so that this will match the stem. So when we go to wrap the stem, this is pretty much straight, okay, as straight as you can get it. And now the other side, what we're going to do is that we're going to make this into a circle. So we're just going to take it and just tightly, but you got to be able to get your crochet hook into the center of the circle, so don't go so tight that you can't do that. And you want to close it so that your stitches doesn't come off. Okay, it won't come out of the hole. Okay, and this is what's going to happen is that you want to turn it now. See how this is straight on down? You want to turn it so this stays flat. And you can sculpt this and flex this after it's been done as well. And now we're going to grab our crochet hook and our spring green, and we're going to crochet along the edge and around, and then back around one more time. And we'll do that next. Starting with your spring green, or whatever color you want your leaves to be, just create a slip knot and put it onto your hook. So this is where the bend is, so you're just going to be pretty close to it, and you can shift it because it's just going to rest on there, and just put that over top of your wire, yarn over underneath it, and pull through the 2. that's considered a single crochet, and when we get back we'll have a single crochet on the other side, which you'll see. But the remaining now going all the way to the other side and then back around will all be double crochet. So just wrap the hook, and if you keep the straggler with it, you can bury that underneath your leaf. And so you're not having to count stitches, you're just going to make it look full. But don't overstuff it, because you're going to come down the opposite side of this wire and fill in the remaining that will be on the other side. This is easier on my lap. Okay, just continue to go and wrap around. Painful to watch me do it, isn't it? Okay, so just be consistent with your stitch work as far as like the tension, and just keep on going. So I'm gonna just keep on moving down the edge, and then I'll see you here in a few moments. And you know, see how this is weird? I'm gonna just rip that out and reattempt with this on my lap instead. So just double crochet around that wire. So you get an idea on how squished this is, and I've gotten to here. So on this ring here, we want to go right into the ring itself. And when we go to do this, we want more of a point. So we've been doing double crochet, so now I want to do half double crochet. Sorry about the noise. It's the only thing about wire work I don't like. So we're gonna do some half double crochets right into the wire. This is gonna make it a little bit more narrow. So I'm just gonna put 2 in there so far, and then 1 more, so 3. And then I want to chain 1 to create a point. And then back into the ring, do another 3. Half double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3. So this is going to hold that. So do you see how that's kind of just slides out of the way? So what I want you to do right here, I want you to start double crocheting back all the way to the other side. So just go in between the post work. Okay, so then just go in between the next post, just move it out of the way. And you're going to do that all the way back to the other side. And I'll be right back in a few moments to show you what to do with the next round. So I'm coming very close to the end. So I have 1 more stitch to do, so that's a double. So I'm going to put a single crochet right after this last one. Now I want you just to stay on the front side of this. I want you just to start now, and you're going to double crochet yourself halfway across. I'm not going to give you information as far as like how many stitches that is. I want you to look at it and make a sound decision. So you're just going to half double crochet in each stitch about halfway across. And what we're doing is we're thickening up the base of it, and then we're going to get a little bit more narrow for shaping. So I'll see you around the halfway mark in a moment. Once you're about at the halfway mark, it's just a rough guess, you're going to switch now to single crochet to get a little bit smaller. And we're going to get close to the tip, and then we're going to start something else right at the tip to get it more narrow. And I'll see you there in a moment. So I'm getting closer to the tip. And now these are the 3 half double crochets on this side. I'm just going to slip stitch. And those 3. And then you have the chain 1 space. Okay, so I'm going to now chain 3. So sorry about the scratching sound. So I got 1, 2, 3. And I want to double crochet into the chain 1 space. And then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then I want to come into these half double crochets and slip stitch just the first 3. This is more of an artist's interpretation. So if you have a better way, by all means, go for it. So now I'm going to switch now to single crochet to about halfway back. And if you follow this, you can see this is where the half starts. So single crochet until you get there, and then switch to half double crochet to take yourself back. So just begin to single crochet yourself back halfway, and then switch over to half double crochet from that point. When you get back to the other side to where the wire is still exposed, because you're going to attach that part to the stem, you're just going to slip stitch and finish that off. So you're going to grab your tapestry needle and be able to hide in the ends. So any loose ends you have at this point in your leaf, you're going to want to get rid of. And then your leaf is ready. And I wouldn't worry about shaping this until it's actually on your project. I did go over top of my straggler, so that's safe to come out. And then the other one I have to use a tapestry needle to hide it on the back side here. So I'm probably going to spray my flowers at the end with cologne or something. So I'm just weaving this in. So once, twice, and 3 times. So you will know that you were just on the wire, so this is completely movable on there. The only thing that's not movable is when you went around the circle in the end. So that's stable over here, and the bend is kind of forcing this not to fall off, so you can move stuff at any point. So now we're going to begin, and we'll go back to doing that flower in a second. So I'm back to the wire. I need a total of 15 inches. So you can measure your vase and determine how long of it you want. We are going to be curving up both ends, so that will take away some distance. And I will cut this and I'll be right back. We're now going to prepare, it doesn't matter which side you're doing at this point, you're going to prepare just only one side of the wire, and you're going to create a loop. This loop will be on the inside of the flower. Okay. And with this wire, you're going to take your other end that's still straight, and this is still cupped, and you're going to go down through the center and out through the center of the adjustable circle at the other side. You can move it close to the other side if you want to. So this here is the yarn strand that we're going to use to sew that shut. But we're not quite done. We want to grab the spring green that we've been playing with, and we want to insert this. Nothing's worse than, well, I guess there could be things worse, but I sound like Martha Stewart. But you're going to want this so that you don't have a lop of glue on the outside of your flower. So just put this through a tapestry needle. Okay, and then just come out through the bottom here. Okay, and you're going to just stick it up through to the inside of your flower. And you're just pulling that through. And what we want to do to prevent this from having glue on the outside, we are going to glue it to the interior right about here. So I'm just letting my glue gun heat up, and then I'll be back in a few moments. But while we're waiting for that, what you can do is that you can take your strand, okay, and just the green, and just wrap it around several times here. And we're going to put a heap of glue close to there, and so this is just going to slide up, and then it'll be out of the way, and therefore this is attached and will never fall off your flower. So I'll be back in a second when I tap it with glue. So all you're going to do now is just tap it with some glue. Yarn, when it hits glue, it just automatically sticks forever and ever. And this is on the inside of your flower, so you can be nasty with it. Okay, and then just let that dry before you do anything else. And I'm not worried about any extra yarn hanging off that, because it'll get stuck and it's on the inside of the flower. Okay, we'll let that dry. I'll be right back. Now we're going to move this up. We're looking at the outside of the flower, but I want you to flip it so that we're looking at the inside of the flower. So just flip it like that and move it up your wire and pull that green that is there down. And what we're going to do is we're going to lop some glue on the underside of this flower. Okay, don't be too sloppy with it, but what we're doing is it's really just going to grab onto the existing green that's there. Okay, and then we're going to let that dry. Okay, now you can flip up your flower back to what it was. And therefore this will never slide down or be a problem. Just make sure it keeps its bell shape on the bottom. Okay, and now we're ready to get our polyfill, and we're going to be ready to stuff in a second. I've just bent my wire so that you can see the interior, and all I'm just going to do now is just put some stuffing. Make sure that it goes behind that wire as well. You want to be somewhat firm with this. We used a small hook so that the stitch work would not explode on you, so just keep adding a little bit more. And you'll know if it's too much. Okay, so I'm really pushing it down. And now we have to strategically fold this using this leftover strand. And we're going to be doing that next. Put this leftover strand onto a tapestry needle. And carefully pull it up. See how this is here? We want to go completely the opposite across. Push that polyfill down. Okay, so roughly just fold it in half. And just put your needle on the opposite side of this. This is called a whip stitch. And do it twice. This is the center of your flower. Now, you want to go the other way. So you're going to push these two ends in. And you are going to go flat. Okay, so what you're going to do is just put it in halfway and go right there. Across. Pull tight so it comes in. And you're going to come directly across to the side halfway and back to that center. Okay, so it should look like a X. Make sure to pull it nice and tight. So now all you're just going to do is work your way along the X's. I recommend that when you go to do this, go along the back loop of the stitch. If you grab the whole stitch, it won't look as good, but just grab the back loop and you can probably see it better in person, like that, and work your way to the tip. If you grab both strands that make up a stitch, it kind of bulks out on itself and go right in here. So once you're close to the edge of the tip, you are going to just sink your needle back in somewhere different than where you came out of and go back to the center point. Okay, back to the center. And now you're going to move down the next point. Okay, and I need you to do all 4 points the same way. Working your way to the tip, then bury yourself, come back out, and then go to another tip. And I'll see you at the end of this in a moment. Okay, I'm on my final tip. I'm just going to go back to the center and then bury this. If you pull, when you go back to the center, if you pull a little bit more snug, it actually causes the interior kind of to bunch in, probably be more floral shape. And that you're just going to weave back and forth a total of 3 times. always going in a slightly different path than where you came out of to trap that yarn. And once you're happy with it, like I am, you are just going to trim it. So your tulip flower is done. And now we're going to be moving on to the stem next. On the opposite side now, where the flower is, you're going to take your pliers and you are going to turn this into a tighter circle. This is going to go on the inside of your vase. This is just to prevent any stabbing issues with this. Okay, and now what we want to do is we want to take the vase and we want to kind of get a rough height, so you can see that the wire is kind of weird. It's because I haven't straightened it out. It's the only thing's not straight today. Other than me, of course. So anyway, we're going to take away, we're going to just put this in and we're going to determine where we should start the leaf. So if we start the leaf too soon or too down here, then it's going to be interfering. So I'm going to make sure that the leaf is probably right about in this area here. Okay, so I'm just going to grab that. I'm just going to bend it slightly so I keep an eye on that. And what I'm going to do is that when I get there, I'm going to add in my leaf. Now you can try gluing it, but it won't work. Not this stuff. Is that you're just going to put it with it and you're going to wrap it tightly around both of these at the same time and you'll be surprised. So you may want to just see where it is, because maybe you want it higher. If you want higher, you can go up higher. It's up to you. I think I might do higher. Yeah, I think I might go up higher than that, just based on where the tip of the leaf is, because I want to do shape it. So we could just leave that there. I'm going to just mark this. Just bending it slightly so I can see it. And then I'm going to start twisting this on. Whatever is your dominant hand, I want you just to hold tight to the yarn and just twirl your flower. So you have choices. You can either make it look really organized and just move your hands down, and because it's been glued to the inside of that, it will not fall out on you if you're wrapping it tightly. So I'm not allowing much of this to go on. It's just pulling it on, holding it really tight. Might look better with just one rotation around. And when I'm ready for the leaf, that's when it's going to get a little bit more interesting, but then once that's on, everything gets really easy to do right to the end. And right here is where I'm putting the leaf on. But as I said, I kind of like this flower without the leaf, but what do I know? It's what happens when you get creative people in your life. Everybody has an opinion. Now you'll be surprised, this will actually hold itself in a position without glue. Okay, so my leaf is going to go on here, right in this flat spot. So carefully and without releasing any tension. Okay, I want you to get your leaf, make sure that it's facing upward, and match it towards the stem. And just with your hand, and just carefully wrap in the same direction that you've been doing. Go as tight as you can. Just do a few wraps, and then what we're going to do is just keep on holding that and just kind of see how the wire is still exposed a little bit. We just want to kind of shift things up. We're going to keep going around. So if it's separating from the wire like that, just keep wrapping it so it drags it together. And I have no issues with wrapping a little bit more sloppy here because that's where it's attaching. So then I can put this back into my hand and continue to rotate this around like I had been before. Okay, and I will be right back in a moment. So I'm going to go all the way down to the ring right here. When you get to the ring area, just go right up over top of the ring, about halfway through. Okay, now without releasing any tension, get that glue and put it around there. And still continue to wrap then right over top of the glue. And that's it. So I'm just going to hold there for a few moments and then I am going to let it go and then I'll trim and I'll be right back in a moment. Okay, once you have it stabilized, take your scissors and just safely cut it. And therefore you'll have your flower ready and you can bend anything that you would like to bend to get it to go with the way that you want to go. So I will go to the vase next. So now I can shape this, I can put a little ruffle in here, I can twist it if I want to, just get it to hold, and therefore I can just put my inside the vase. And you can do as many or as little as you want to, and therefore you would have it all preset. So you can only do as many that will fit in the hole. I will show you a final photo of this in just a few seconds.